Check, check. I feel like I should have some theme music after that. I can't.
Mike,
Like Jared, I have my So I've already been introduced to you. I'm the father of the bride, the FOB, and more importantly, Allie's dad, and now I'm Jordan's father-in-law. So that's a new thing for me. So not loud enough. And anyway, I feel somewhat obligated to introduce myself to you because in reviewing the guest list today, and with my rudimentary calculation, 77% of you, I don't know, I've never met before, so, but you've obviously meant something to Allie and Jordan, so we do welcome you. I also read an article recently that said 3.75 people out of every 100 at a wedding reception are wedding crashers. So if I calculated right, about 7.5 of you, Jordan and Allie, don't even know. So, but anyway, to all of you, friends, family, neighbors, firefighters, nurses, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, high school and college friends, and wedding crashers, welcome and thank you for joining us today to celebrate Allie and Jordan's wedding. When planning a large event like this, you want it to go off without a hitch, but I think in this case, we're all just happy that the hitch finally took place. Allie, I wanted to tell you that your mom and I could not be more happy for you and Jordan and tell you how beautiful you look today. It was stunning when I saw you this day. So, I also wanted to recognize the prodigious amounts of time, effort, and creativity you put into planning all of this and constructing this great event. Beautiful, incredible, and certainly worthy of our applause. Wonderful job. I'm so happy that Jared and Chelsea had the opportunity to toast the bride and groom. I also want to thank both Jared and Chelsea, first of all, for getting Jordan and Allie to the church today so that the hitch could finally take place, but also for the great friendship. Thank you.
we're here, buddy.
Great crowd. They're laughing at you? I thought they were laughing at me. It's pretty funny. But also for organizing what I heard were epic bachelor and bachelorette parties in Nashville. So, also Jared for that wonderful slideshow last night. It was amazing. So, well done and wonderful job. It's particularly nice to see so many friends and relatives who've traveled such great distances to be here with Jordan and Allie today. To name a few, a large contingent from Pittsburgh and the surrounding area. Logan and Brendan and Jeff Serum and Brendan's girlfriend Kelsey from Iowa. Jim and Paula Kimblin from Florida and or Wisconsin. They're snowbirds, so we never quite know where they are. Mike and Nikki Poe, Aunt Joanne from Cedar Falls. Other people who I didn't get a chance to meet, and also Kevin Pope and his lovely wife who I had a chance to meet last night. Wonderful time last night. Obviously, you guys are all a true testimony to friendship and the power of true friendship, and while great distances are between you, nonetheless, you're all very special to Allie and Jordan. So thank you for bringing them some additional joy on this day. We must pause for a moment to remember the family and friends who would be here today but are no longer with us. Among them, Allie's grandmother, Dawn Steffens, her grandpa Jim, grandpa Jerry, Jordan's grandparents, Earl and Linda Busch, and his grandfather, Jim Novak. Their spirits are undoubtedly with us, and no doubt they're smiling down upon us today. I did also want to take a moment to recognize the large contingent of firefighters and nurses here today and thank them for their service. They're important to all of us. A very important job. Thank you for that round of applause. Thank you for this. Now, as Laura can attest, and for the 77% of you who do not know me, you probably don't know her. She's the MOB, the most outstanding beauty, and mother of the bride. I've been thinking about this speech ever since Allie informed me that it was customary to be delivered by the father of the bride. You see, all of my non-business public speaking has been at celebrations where I would help roast the guest of honor. Now, no one's ever asked me to speak at a wedding, a funeral, or any other event where the comments should be kept to the positive. So you can see my dilemma. I mean, you can't roast your daughter at her wedding, Or can you? Now, Allie, my dear, they say the two keys to any good speech are levity and brevity. Well, you'll be getting neither of them from me today. After all, your mother and I, Jordan's family, and all your friends have been waiting for over 7 years for you to settle down with your Prince Charming. So I think you can bear with me for the next 35 or 40 minutes. And I have to admit that the reason this speech is 27 pages long is that I had to set the font at 24, which would not have been the case if you'd have tied the knot before I needed these super powerful lenses. Okay, so much as I would love to roast our lovely bride, I was warned rather sternly by Laura that I needed to keep my comments to the positive. And since I have to go home with her for the rest of my life, I better heed that wording. But I will tell you a brief story about our bride. When Allie decided to go to University of Kansas, and Chelsea talked about this, she decided to go into a sorority. So we moved her to Lawrence, Kansas, and we got there and moved her into a dorm called Corbin. It was an all-girls dorm, and she was getting ready to pledge a sorority. So we checked in, and we found out that they had Wi-Fi inside the building, but you needed a router, or you IT people, you needed a router to be able to connect to the internet. So I drove back to Olathe, and I went back to the dorm, and I knocked on the door and walked in, and Allie's now laying on the bed with her new roommate and 4 or 5 other girls in the room. And I hooked up the router and checked the Wi-Fi, and then I turned to Allie and said, Allie, what are you guys doing tonight? And Allie looked at me and said, Dad, I don't know about everybody else, but Morgan and I are going to Mass. And everything that I had done as a parent to that point, like, welled up inside of me. Laura and I did something right. And I turned to Morgan and said, Morgan, are you Catholic too? Well, Mass is Massachusetts Street in Lawrence. And it's where all the bars are. So, fun. All right. Jordan. Intelligent, talented, good-looking, kind, thoughtful, gentle, a born leader. But enough about Allie. Let's talk about you. Sorry, buddy, it was low-hanging fruit. In all seriousness, Jordan is a really special guy, I got to tell you. I mean, look at him. He is good-looking, comes from a great family, has a great career. He's a terrific athlete, obviously a hell of a dancer, no doubt about that. An aspiring rap singer, I've heard. Right? He has a lot of great friends, only 2 of which needed to be bailed out tonight to be here. He's a competitor and a winner. After all, he won my daughter's heart and hand in marriage. Laura and I like Jordan right from the start. I mean, he comes from a hockey family like ours. And even though when Allie originally told me she was dating Jordan, I thought she meant Jared, and told her that he might just be a tad too old for her. No offense, Jared. Also, Jordan and Nick hit it off right from the start, and we appreciate that so very much. My respect for Jordan really grew on the day he asked Allie to marry him. You see, Jordan, before the engagement, asked me for Allie's hand in marriage and my approval. And it was a great gesture. Tells you a little bit about the type of man he is and the type of family that he comes from. And the engagement, for those who do not know, took place at Jeff and Debbie Busch's 40th wedding anniversary, which Laura, Nick, and I were invited to. So in front of both families, Jordan got down on one knee and proposed. It was a great moment for our family and for the Busch family. And I guess he was pretty sure she was going to say yes. Jeff and Debbie Busch, thank you for raising such a fine young man and encouraging him to share his life with our daughter. You've done a wonderful job, and it's an honor to have our families joined in this fashion. Thank you. To Jacqueline and Nikki, thank you for accepting Allie as a sister-in-law. And while we spent some time together over the past few years, driving you 2 along with Allie to the airport for a bachelor party reinforced what I already knew, that you 2 are committed and loving mothers and wives, and great examples to Allie. Thank you. And to the other ladies in Allie's wedding party, thank you for being with her today. Courtney for originally taking Allie to a party to introduce her to Jordan. Chelsea and Stacia for organizing what I understand were beautiful and fun wedding showers, and Lindsay for being a great sorority sister. Well done. Thank you. Now, I have a confession to make. Sometimes when I get emotional, it doesn't happen very often, but I cried. It's embarrassing, not just for Allie and Nick. And while it doesn't happen a lot, when it does, I usually can't stop the tears from flowing. When Allie was born at Overland Park Hospital, I was was overcome with the miracle of human birth, and I realized the awesome responsibility of becoming a father. I cried. When 5 years later in the delivery room in Olathe, we again experienced the miracle of birth, this time with a son, Nick, I cried. A perfect family, a boy and a girl. I cried. Imagine that, not 2 minutes into this world, and both my kids had made their old man cry. The first of many, mostly with joy. Through the years, having my nails painted, playing Candyland, stomping on monsters, and keeping the evils of the world away from Allie, waiting to make sure our kids got home safe, and experiencing health setbacks and recoveries, I cried. The thought of being the first man she ever loved, and of someday walking her down the aisle, I cried. And I'm certain I may cry when Allie and I share the father dance, as I most certainly will cry a lot when I get the bill for this event. Jordan, I've seen you play with your nieces and nephews at family events, and have heard from Allie on countless occasions how much you love them and they love you. And like your brother Jared, you will one day be a wonderful father. Laura hopes much sooner than later. And if you're ever lucky enough to be blessed with a daughter, and I hope you will, it is obvious that you will love and protect and cherish her just as every dad does his little girl. And then when that happens, I want you to just remember, Jordan, that your wife is our little girl. And someday you'll have to give her away. God bless everyone. Have a great time tonight.
All right, Mike, everybody. Honor the bride.
Great job, Michael.
All right, it is now time to cut the cake.